Stevenson. Going to do another fight review from UFC, was it 130? Flyweight division. Sijara Eubanks versus Roxanne Modafferi. Eubanks came in, overweight by like 1.2 pounds, 127.2. So she came in already losing some money. Anyway, I almost didn't want to do a review of this fight because I just wasn't impressed with anything I saw in this. Well, not. There was maybe like one or two things that I saw that I liked, but for the most part, I just came away from this fight like really disappointed. First, I'll go over talk about Modafferi. I said in my weekend preview video that I like Modafferi, big fan. It's hard not to like her. She has such a great personality and everything. That said, I think that as much as she has improved over the last few years, I think we've seen about as far as she can go in this sport. I mean, her striking has improved from absolutely terrible to very workable. It's awkward looking, but it's effective. I like to say awkwardly effective. She was getting tore up at first by Sarge, outpointed, but I think as the fight went on, she definitely started to land more. And she did get a really nice takedown in the second round on Sijara. Roxy actually had a disadvantageous position. Sijara had a full body lock with double underhooks, and Roxy was still able to toss her to the ground and get her down. So that was pretty good from Roxy. And, she definitely started to read Sarge's timing more as the fight went on, on the feet. And she was able to start giving as good as she got. Now, that being said, obviously, she is the most unathletic girl in the division, if not the UFC. I mean, and that's not something that she can fix. I mean, she's just not athletically built. She's not a natural athlete. And on top of that, she has vision problems. She straight up said that, she goes into a fight with a disadvantage because without her glasses, she can't see as good. So, she goes into the fight, every fight, with an automatic disadvantages. From being not a natural athlete, and she can't see that good. So for her to do as good in this fight as she did, she actually did better in this fight than she did in their first fight. The result ended up being the same, but we definitely saw some improvements from Roxanne, and I think coming from training at home at Syndicate definitely helped her. Now, as far as Sijara Eubanks goes, I just was not impressed at all. I said in the preview that the last fight, she basically just out-muscled Roxy, especially on the ground, and that's all I really saw this time too. Her striking was very predictable. It was just, she spammed the 1-2, 1-2 almost the whole time. She threw some kicks in, but other than that, it was the same combos, just the 1-2, 1-2, and it became so predictable that Roxy was able to start reading her timing and start landing on her own and countering effectively. No head movement, no footwork. And then on the ground, for someone who had such a size and strength advantage over her opponent, she should have done way better on the ground than she did. I did not see what you normally expect to see from a BJJ black belt on the ground. And that's not to take away anything from Roxanne, who was working hard from the bottom when she was on bottom, but I just didn't see anything from Sarge to be impressed with. I mean, she mostly just, again, was working to out-muscle Roxy. Her technique wasn't very good at all. I just didn't see really anything that really stood out on the ground compared to some of the other fighters in the division. I mean, poor posturing, poor weight, hip control, poor weight management. I mean, Roxy was able to attempt sweep after sweep to scramble and get back up. And a good grappler with Eubanks' strength shouldn't have been done, allowed that. She should have had Roxy flattened out every takedown and just pounded her out. And then, okay, I don't understand how you can have a full body lock with double underhooks and you let a smaller fighter toss you to the ground like that. I'm sorry, that's... Wow, I mean, that was just bad. For a fighter who said she runs this division, I don't see her running this division. I see a lot of fighters in this division. Everyone in... Most of the top 10 I see giving her trouble. Valentina is just going to outstrike her, period. Katlyn Chookagian is going to be able to outwork her on the feet. She's going to spam her strikes from the distance and outwork her. I see Liz Carmouche. She's not going to be able to outmuscle Liz Carmouche. Liz Carmouche is just a much better athlete. Jessica, I see having a good chance against her. And Antonina Shevchenko, if they fight, I see Antonina Shevchenko just taking her out. Just straight up taking her out on her feet. The future does not look bright for Sijara Eubanks in this division unless they keep giving her easy fights, which you can't keep giving someone easy fights at rank number 4. One thing I forgot to mention was Sijara's takedowns were terrible. Just bending over and bowling forward. That's not going to work against anyone with decent takedown defense. Roxy does not have the best takedown defense, and that's from years and years of being used to just working on the ground and liking to work from the ground. That's about it. Guys, obviously, not very impressive fight. I don't mean to be this negative all the time, but when you have 2 people ranked in the top 10 and you just see this, I just can't have a hard time getting excited about it. Don't know. Things to work on. Basically everything I said for both fighters. Matches to make. Sarge, someone 6 to 3, I guess. Someone between rank 6 and 3. Roxanne, she's probably not going to go down in ranking unless someone else moves up in other fights. So I don't know who to match her up with. I hadn't thought about it. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the fight in the comments down below. Thumbs up's always appreciated. Probably going to get a lot of the down ones just because it's a UFC video and that happens. And my opinions are going to be unpopular. I don't care. Anyway, if you haven't yet, subscribe to WMMA Now, the fastest growing women's mixed martial arts platform on YouTube. Guys, have a good night.